All right, what's up, y'all? Doing another little video here to show another way I am using the shaper for this project. I am working on these walnut nightstands, and what I am doing is I am going to mount these legs on the bottom using these hanger bolts, and I'm going to bolt them on from the underside. And so decided to use the shaper to drill the holes for the hanger bolts. So as you can see, I marked my lines with my marking gauge, and that hole is pretty much dead on. And I drilled down to almost 1.75 inches to allow for almost the full depth of that hanger bolt. And these are 5/16 hanger bolts. So I'm going to show you how I did this. All right, so I've got the next leg mounted in my shaper workstation, and it's nice and tight, nice and flush with the top. And you can see my marks from my marking gauge. So I'm trying to hit that target. So what I've done is I've gone in and I have laid out a grid. So the video I just posted a few days ago was showing how to lay out a grid. So I did that same process with this and laid out a grid, and all of these legs are exactly the same. And so once you lay the grid out the first time, you don't have to lay it out again. And as you can see, if I move over here, you can look at my coordinates, and you can see that, let's see if I can get to, there's 0 there. If I go up to there, you can see that's the corner of my workpiece based on my grid, because my X and Y axes are at 0. So that, as you can see under here, lines up perfectly. So there's my bit right on the corner. So you know that's your X and Y axis, your corner. And now I have laid out the hole I want to cut, and I'm using a 1/4 inch bit. And basically, because I'm using 5/16 hanger bolts, they recommended drilling a hole 19/64 for these particular hanger bolts, since I'm going into hardwood, into walnut. So I went ahead and set that up, knew exactly where I needed this hole to be centered based on my grid, went into the create mode under design. And if you go under design, you can see over here, create, and did a circle and went to right where I wanted that circle to be. And once you're there, you can hit start circle, and you can tell the diameter you want. In this case, I went with 0.3 because that was close to 19/64, which is like 0.29. And then you can see it laid out the circle right there. And it's asking you where you want to place it. I already have mine placed, so I'm not going to place again, but you can see the circle right there. And for this particular project, I wanted to place it right there, so that's where I placed it. Like I said, I'm not going to do it again, so I'm just going to X out of this and cancel, since I've already got mine laid. But it's ready, and so now all I got to do is cut the hole. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut one, and then I'll show you how this process goes. All right, so I cut that hole, and as you can see, it is lined up perfectly on those crosshairs. So that is how I'm using the shaper to drill for the hanger bolts.